Okay, welcome to the show, Smash Ballers. Here it is currently Wednesday evening. Uh, it is 7 p.m. and the Steelers just beat the Ravens, who were, of course, led by RG3, who, of course, hurt his knee and then was relieved of duties by Tracy McSorley, who pretty tough white kid. I mean, he can run. He took a big shot there, and so anyway, we're not really sure where we're going to wander with this podcast, but hopefully it'll have some value to some of you. Anyway, what about the update game of the week, upset of the year? The dark horse, none other than Bridesmaids, Maids of Honor, overtakes the Titan, the great Titan, the meat curtains, and indeed thrust upon him a sword as he beat him, putting up 110 points. That's right. Bridesmaids sits at 8-4, tied with meat curtains for the division. I'm going to have to check that because that, how can that even be true? Can't be true, so I'm going to check it. But anyway, it was a pretty good week here so far. But yeah, what an upset to have. And look at Skoll sitting there at 6-6. Let's just get into this and break this down a little bit here. I mean, I'm 8-4. Smash Mouth is 8-4. That was another great game because it was a battle of first and second, and I overtook him with Godwin. And then I thrust a sword in him with Deontay Johnson for the kill, but he was already dead by then. So anyway, it looks like Smash Mouth is second in scoring and only a mere 40-some points from the great meat curtains. So Bridesmaids, Maids of Honor, 8-4 with meat curtains. And Skoll sitting there at 6-6, fighting, battling. You got to keep battling, he was heard saying, the Skoll GM over there the other week. We just got to keep battling it out, battling it out. They lost Fuller. What do? We got to battle it out, battle it out. So then we got here in the North Star division with Laces out and CC Fall Guy. Okay, now that's very interesting because CC Fall Guy got beat by Crazy Horse. Crazy Horse put up a big week, and Fall Guy didn't really show up too much. But Laces out put thumping on Boomer Nation, 175, high score of the week. So it looks like that division is still probably up for grabs here. And we've got Half Chubb sitting there at 6-6, leading that division, Iron Range division. And you got Ragnar at 4-8, and Just Win Baby at 3-9. Now, consequently, Just Win Baby has 3 wins on the year, and they're both against none other than Half Chubb. I mean, what do you say? It's Just Win Baby. I mean, overtaking Chubb for their 2 games. So they pulled out 3 wins so far. So they're battling. They're battling. It looks like Chubb might have a stranglehold on that division, so his fate may be in his own hands here. But great week. But yeah, Bridesmaids overtaking Meat Curtains, putting up 110 points. Now, how you say is that even possible? First of all, that he can put up 110 points. All right. I don't know what's going on here with the computer, but all right, here we go. How can you ask? Well, I'll show you how. In fact, enough talking. Let's start sharing. All right, now we're sharing. Look at here. Meat Curtains, 99 points. That's right. You say, well, he didn't have any of his starters. Yes, listen to this lineup. He had Matt Ryan, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Alvin Kamara, Miles Sanders, Stephon Diggs, Robert Woods, and Evan Ingram. Okay, that's who he's been rolling out all year. And they put up a 99 burger. And here, who won the game for Bridesmaids? I'll tell you who. Kirk Cousins, that's who. He put up 34 points on him. And he only lost by 11 points. So Kirk Cousins scores, say, 23 points, as is usual. Bridesmaids doesn't even put up 100. So the quarterback that he hates, and he said he would never play again. He said, never, ever. If I don't even have to play quarterback, I'm not playing him. And he went with Bridgewater till Bridgewater went down. And now he went back to Kirk, not by choice. And Kirk indeed comes through for him to propel him to an 8-4 record and a likely playoff berth if he plays his cards right. But yes, hard to believe. Bridesmaids is 8-4. There's no explanation for it other than to say it seems remarkable to me. So again, he calls himself the dark horse. So here he comes again, and he didn't even play DeAndre Swift because he was sitting him, but now he's got him coming back. So I think, he's in good shape going into the playoffs with Michael Thomas, Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Hopkins, and Devontae Parker. He should be set pretty good. So yeah, let's take a look at all right, let's go actually and share the standings here so you can view those as well. So that's what I was talking about before here. Now we've got Smash Mouth sitting at 8-4, 2-1 in the division. And you got Purple, 7-5, 3-1 in the division. Those two teams have each beaten each other one time. And so the division record will tell who is going to get that if they would tie. Crazy Horse, 0-3 in the division, unfortunately. It's going to be real tough sledding for him. And then here we go. Meat Curtains. Bridesmaids, 8-4. Meat Curtains has got the division record so far. Who knows if Skoll runs the table here? He could be 7-6 and indefinitely in playoff contention all of a sudden. You know, he's no slouch. He's no slouch. But it's the grappler we're talking about now, right here. We all know who that is. That's CC Fall Guy right there. He's the grappler. And he's hanging tough there at 6-6, okay? Um, as far as scoring goes, he's kind of been middle of the pack guy. Middle of the pack guy, 6-6. That's exactly where he should be. But he's grappling. And so he's still definitely in the running. Boomer Nation at 4-8. He's putting up, he's competing, okay? You can't say Boomer isn't competing because he's put up 50 points less than half Chubb is all. You know, 1,547. I mean, yeah, he's been really competing this year. So I'd be proud if I were a Boomer Nation franchise owner there. And then we've got Ragnar. Tough year for Ragnar this year. He had some struggles there. He's coming in at 4-8, and then Just Win Baby. Now this is a rebuilding year for Just Win Baby. So he went from 0-13 to 3-9, and the season's not over yet, folks. Season's not over yet. As well, there's the toilet bowl. So doesn't matter, folks. Okay, you guys that don't make the playoffs compete for the toilet bowl, and there's actually a trophy. I have the trophy. I have two of those. I have two toilet bowl trophies in my possession, and I can get that trophy to you, and it's the winner of the toilet bowl playoffs, and those will be set up by Mort, but there's still a lot to be determined here. A lot to be determined here. It looks like, oh man, I'd say Smash Mouth is going to win that division. He's got Delvin Cook and now Austin Eckler both back, as well as that stable of receivers against Mort. I don't know. I think Smash is going to win that. Purple probably will. Let's say he'll take a loss, so he'll end up 7-6. So I'll be 9-4, and Meat probably will be 9-4. Bridesmaids probably be 8-5. So that's one division owner. Let's see, 2, 3. So who's the wild cards? Basically, the wild cards are between Fall Guy, Purple People, and Bridesmaids fighting it over for that second wild card position, or that. Yeah, yeah. So anyway, um, we can go ahead and stop sharing on that. Let's go ahead and pull up the rankings here. So top scores, of course, Patrick Mahomes. Uh, let's see. Patrick Mahomes, number one. Kyler Murray, right there. Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson, all right there. Josh Allen, Rodgers, all kind of right there. And you got Tom Brady, Justin Herbert. Where's Lamar Jackson? What? Still at number 23. What the hell is he doing way down there? Yeah, he missed a game, but still at 23 a game. Let's see, boy. He should be putting up a lot more than 23 a game. Something's wrong there. So yeah, let's go ahead and look at just the running backs. Oops. There we go. So we got Delvin Cook there, averaging a smooth 28 points a game, almost a full 3 points more than anybody else per game. And then look at the top four. The number 4 running back is 8 points per game below Delvin. Top 5. Okay, 10 points more than the top 5 guy per game. So that's a phenomenal pace right there for Delvin Cook. So he is heads and tails, head and shoulders above most people not named Alvin Kamara or Derrick Henry. But still, Derrick Henry's a full 5 points per game less than Delvin. So you got Delvin Cook, Alvin Kamara, Derrick Henry, James Robinson, Antonio Gibson rounding out the top 5. Rounding out the top 5 for running backs. And the interesting thing about that is 2 of these guys are rookies. Dudes, 2 of these guys are rookies. Okay. Coming in at number 4 is James Robinson. 20.5 points per game. Solid. Okay. And you got Antonio Gibson coming in at 18 points a game. And you know what's odd there? I'll tell you what's odd is if they would have used him a little bit more, a little earlier on, Antonio Gibson could easily have been a top 3 back this year. I hate to say it to you, but I think the kid's got a bright future, and he has top 5 possibility as early as looks like this year, which is potential, no doubt, over in that camp. So Chubb is happy about James Robinson and Antonio Gibson because he got them actually Mystery Irrelevant was the last round pick, and he got Antonio Gibson, I think, in round 3 or something like that, too. Maybe it was round 2, but then you got Josh Jacobs. Now look at here from last year. Jacobs down there at number 6, Zeke at 7, Aaron Jones at 8, Ronald Jones at 9, and Mike Davis at 10. Now, that's believable. Kind of hard to believe Edwards-Helaire is not in there, but hasn't been RB1 quality this year. He's definitely been RB2 quality. So, because they pass so darn much. But seeing Aaron Jones down there at number 8, but wait, that's still 20 points per game. See, he missed a couple games. So yeah, he's actually up there, averaging up the top five in points. So, but tough sledding for Zeke here. I mean, sitting down there at 16 points per game, that's definitely not what you bought and paid for if you dealt for him, because he is not, something's up. I don't know what, but something very mysterious is up there with Zeke. And he's fumbling. And he's fumbling and fumbling and fumbling. And it's uncanny what's happening. It's like it's just deteriorating before our eyes. He's having a meltdown. Of course, his best game, of course, was against the Vikings. It's only 100-yard game, the Vikings. So yeah, kind of what's odd is, with Austin Eckler coming back here and him averaging like 20 points a game. He's right up here, top 5 as well. So Smash would have Dalvin Cook and Austin Eckler now, 2 top 5 backs. So, because Austin Eckler now, let's talk about that guy for you Eckler owners out there. They took him off IR middle last week, and he was practicing even. And the Smash camp said, oh, I'm sure they won't play him. So they didn't even pay attention to his status, only to find out that not only was he practicing, but he was playing. And I had him, or Smash Camp had him on IR. In fact, it was a roster violation. And I tried to take him off IR, and it said that I could not indeed do that, and he was locked. So now Alston Eckler will be part of the game plan for going into the Crazy Horse camp for the clinch the division and the number 2 seed with a win with Delvin Cook, Austin Eckler, Amari Cooper, Allen Robinson, Chris Godwin, and Christian Kirk. So that looks pretty good as well. Let's go to receivers now. I'll take a quick look at those, see how they're coming out. Oh, of course, the number 1 scorer in all of fantasy due to that 65 point night is none other than Tyreek Hill is the number 1 scorer in all of fantasy. You can't make it up. Can't make it up. Number 1 scorer, non-quarterback in fantasy. He's like 1 point ahead of Dalvin Cook. But I'll take Dalvin Cook's 28 points a game average over Tyreek's 25. When you take out that 65 point game, I don't think so. So anyway, you got Devontae Adams coming in there at number 2. He missed 2 games and he's still number 2. So he clearly would be the number 1 receiver in all of fantasy. Owned by Skull. Just keep battling is the mantra coming out of the Skull camp. Just keep battling. That's the mantra that's written over the hall when you go into the campus. Just keep battling. And then you've got DK Metcalf coming in at number 3 for crying out loud. Second year. Oh my God. He had the highest ceiling coming out of college, and now he's a mere 10 points out of second place. He's a wide receiver 1, there's no doubt. He's averaging 21 points a game, far below Devontae Adams' 27.9. Then you got Keenan Allen right there at number 4, so he's putting in over 21 points a game. So he's a stout receiver. Then DeAndre Hopkins. Now, it's surprising to see him at number 5 there with being in Arizona. With Murray only averaging 20 points a game. So that's behind Keenan Allen, behind DK Metcalf, behind Devontae Adams and Tyreek Hill. Granted, there are no slouches there, but DeAndre should be up there, I would think, a little bit. So, and then you've got Diggsy at number 6 battling. Good Lord, putting in 20 points a game. So Diggs has resurrected himself in Buffalo as well. And you got Will Fuller. What a crying shame. Just put up 40 points. 40 points for Skol. Averaging 19 and a half a game. Really coming on strong with Deshaun Watson. I mean, really coming on strong. So that's too bad. That takes him out week 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, basically the rest of the season for performance-enhancing drugs. I don't know what they were, but they certainly enhanced his performance on Sunday with that 40 burger, 179 freaking receiving yards. Then you got Tyler Lockett at number 8, which he put up, 59 burger that one week, but then he's been putting in, not really such great weeks the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 out of the last 5 weeks, he's been under 10 points. And the weeks he were, it was 12 and 22. So let's convert that over to Mr. DK Metcalf. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you got 44 45, 28, 5, 14, and 32. So let's take a look at 32, 14, 5, 28, and 44. So you're seeing the weight distribution, the chalice being being torn from the hands of Tyler Lockett, if you will, as far as the alpha male there. And it's Tyler Lockett is no slouch, don't get me wrong, but he doesn't look for Tyler Lockett as much as he did last year, and especially 2 years ago when he was the number one. So Tyler Lockett is a number two. Coming in there at number 9 is Terry McLaurin. Now, I like the kid. Do you know why? Because he's steady. He's averaging 18 a game. Okay. You can usually get average of 18 a game. That's it out of him. Second year receiver. Coming in number 10, which I'm surprised is as low, is Justin Jefferson. But he does come in as the number one rookie, of course, at 205. Let's see who the next rookie is that's even close. Chase Claypool down at number 20 at 16 points a game. So Justin Jefferson's in the top 10. So he's been averaging a cool 18 points a game. Then you got Ridley, Thielen down at number 12, which I'm kind of surprised at. Certainly thought Thielen would be higher than 12, but he's averaging 20 points a game, so that puts him in the top 7. Then you got Allen Robinson at 13, which really surprises me. He's averaging 18 points a game, but boy, I thought he would be higher than that, the top 13. Then you got Robbie Anderson at 14, and then Amari Cooper coming in at 15. Now, definitely was some down weeks there after they lost Dak, but now that Dalton's back, I think he's going to have that top 10 value for sure. So then you got Robert Woodsey coming in at 16. Mike Evans at 17, averaging 15.7, but really it's not. It's either a lot or not a lot. Then you got DJ Moore at 18. I'm surprised DJ Moore is not up there, but he is in the top 20. He's averaging 15 points a game, but you know, he's been looking for Robbie Anderson too, and that's why Robbie Anderson is up there at 16.5. You know, he's up there. He's got, boy, they're pretty close. They're only like 13 points spread there. But it looks like Robbie Anderson is getting a few more of the actual targets, if I'm not mistaken there. Then look at here, Tyler Boyd coming at 19 in the top 20. And then another rookie, Chase Claypool. So there's 2 rookies in the top 20. Justin Jefferson at 10 and Chase Claypool at 20. So that Claypool pick looks like an awful sweet pick to the franchise owners that chose Claypool, because he wasn't being drafted all that high. Was he too big? He's like a tight end. No, he's big and built like a tight end that can he's a beast. He's dominant. Okay. The kid is going to be dominant. So look out. There will be no Juju Smith-Schuster in town. It's sorry to say, but he's going to want to get paid, and they're not going to pay him because they don't pay receivers in Pittsburgh. You guys know that already. They don't pay receivers in Pittsburgh. So they're going to let Schuster walk. Hold on. I had to get a drink of my Simply lemonade. Anyway, they're going to let Schuster move on because they've got Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool, and James Washington. Okay, they're the top 3. You got to keep top 3. That's top 3. If they come in next year with Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool, who's going to progress, And James Washington, Schuster Schmister. Yeah, you know Schuster Schmister. Smith Schuster is going to be on the fly because he'll be playing somewhere else. Gotta say, I like Amari Cooper's upside. I think, let's see, when he was playing with Dak, it was 19, 20, 18, 38. Then he got hurt. Then it was 5, 21, 16, 2, 13, 15, and 27. So struggling in those games without a quarterback, it looked like. So now that he's got the red rifle there now, then he should be in fine shape. So that rounds up the top 20. Cooper Kupp in there at 21, A.J. Brown at 22, which he missed 2 games, but he's averaging 19 a game. So that puts him way up, more valuable up in, let's see, A.J. Brown, 19 points a game. Yeah, that puts him up into the top 10 category. So he's really an RW1, really. He missed those 2 games, but putting up 19 a game. Juju putting up 15 a game. So he put up 18 just today. So look at his last 4 games: 18, 6, 23, 22, 14, 18. So Schuster's a good wide receiver to play there. He's been playing pretty well. I thought he, even with Deontay getting 16 targets, he still end up to putting in, those mid teams for performances. So, and we're not going to go any longer here, but then you go down and you've got CeeDee Lamb, the next rookie up there, averaging 14 points a game. T. Higgins, basically they're tied. They're statistically tied. CeeDee Lamb and T. Higgins are statistically tied at 14.6 points per game. Curtis Samuel coming in at 27, averaging 14. So not a bad play there. Devontae Parker. Now, Devontae Parker comes in at 28, averaging 14 points a game. Now, why is that? Probably because he hasn't been putting up big points when he had, looks like he had some clunkers there. He had a 7 and a 7 and a 13 and a 5 mixed in there. So might have been when they switched quarterbacks too. He didn't do so well with Tagovailoa. Julio down at number 31. He missed 3 games, but he's averaging 18.5 a game. So that puts him way up into the top 11, 12 category for receiver when he's not hurt. So when he's healthy, you got to play him. So that's about it. I know some of you owners like kickers. At least one of you owners does, which makes me kind of vomit right now. But Young Ho Koo coming in and dominating for Atlanta. They're averaging a cool 12 points per game average. Then you got Jason Sanders there in Miami there of the Smash Camp putting up 10 per game. Now, he's nailed some killer 50-yarders. I mean, so he can kick long distance, so I like him. Then, of course, you got the old, look who's number 3. Yep, number 3 in the league, Daniel Carlson. The Raiders! Former kicker of the Minnesota Vikings, who they cut. They drafted him high. I think it was like 2nd round. Yep, draft him. Preseason, fails, kicks, fails, cut him. Cut him. They cut him instantly and immediately, if not sooner. So he goes on to become the number 3 kicker in all of fantasy. So that's the Viking scouting department for you. I don't really know how we're gonna, and somebody was saying, it's the new order, it's the new world order for rookie kickers. Well, Blankenship is number 9, so I don't know if that's a new world order, but you do have Tyler Bass at number 5, so they're both in the top 10. So if you want to brag about your kicker averaging 8.7 points per game, that's fine, but don't invite me to the conversation because no, it's almost womanly. Almost womanly. All right. So now let's look at the defenses quick before we wrap it up here. All right. Looks like the Steelers are mopping it up right now. Steelers are mopping it up. Ravens, Steelers, Colts, Dolphins. So you got Ravens, Colts, Dolphins right there on each other. Ravens, Colts, Dolphins. Then you got the Bucks top 5, but San Fran down here at number 19. That's not usual, but they lost like a lot of guys, so they should probably be up right around here. So they'll be up around number 2 next year. But should we take a quick look at tight ends while we're Travis Kelce, I guess, and then everybody else. Okay, that's all we need to spend time on there. Let's just go to rookies quick here before we close out the session. Look at here, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow. Justin Herbert, what can you say about Justin Herbert? I mean, 300 points. He's averaging 30 points a game as a friggin' rookie. I love the kid. The kid is, I don't know what to say. The kid is, well, he's a Hall of Famer. I mean, the kid's going to be phenomenal. And then look at here, James Robinson coming in at number 3 there. And you got Justin Jefferson, Antonio Gibson, and Chase Claypool, Edwards-Helaire. But yeah, that's how the rookies are gonna play out. So anyway, all right, let's go into a new segment that we're going to call. What are we going to call it? We're going to call it Numbers to Know. So 17 touches for J.K. Dobbins in the Ravens' last game. So hopefully he's taking over that backfield. Now, he didn't play today. It was reported today that J.K. Dobbins and Mark Ingram would be active today, and they were not active. They've got the COVID situation, but so he is out for now. 31 targets for Austin Eckler in 3 full games with Justin Herbert this season. -2. How many receiving yards Alvin Kamara has in 2 games with Taysom Hill at quarterback? 34. Latavius Murray has 34 touches in 2 games with Taysom Hill at quarterback. 10. No Rams running back has more than 10 carries since week 7. Again, let me repeat that. No Rams running back has more than 10 carries since week 11. Call that a hot mess? 11. Zach Moss has 1 game since week 1 with more than 11 touches. 7. Antonio Gibson's 7 targets in week 12 were a season high. Is that a sign of things to come? Is that a sign of things to come? I mean, let's get serious. The dude was a wide receiver in college. He's 6'4", 230, 220 something, and he runs like he's 5'10", 200 pounds. And he runs routes, yet they weren't targeting him. So now they started targeting him. and he got 7 targets, and so he's going to be way high in PPR. All right, so we're going to ask this again because we asked it when we were on the podcast with Bridemaids. Is it time to panic on Kamara? Well, the answer to the last guest was no, it's not. It's one game. It's not time to panic on Kamara. Well, yeah, he had 1 catch for -2 yards. And before that game, he had 0 catches. So I don't know what that means, but it looks to me that if Taysom Hill starts next year at quarterback with Latavius Murray, they're going to pound the ball down their hill. And I don't know what's going on with Kamara. I mean, you talk about worrying. What about the meat camp? His 3 running backs put up 6 points apiece this week. Miles Sanders, Edwards Elaire, and Alvin Kamara. They all put up 6 points this week. So I would be a little concerned. I don't know what's going on. I haven't heard any news on Breeze. But I'm sure that Breeze is going to be out. Let's just look it up. Drew. All right. Okay. All right. Let's see what the latest recovery timeline is here for Drew Brees. Because Taysom Hill looks like they can put up the points there with that offense. It's going to be different, but okay. Oh, shit, November 18th. See, there is no news. Basically, there is no news. No news at all. Yeah. There is no news. Here, there's some news yesterday. He watched the game at home. Okay. All right. All right. Collapsed lung. Yeah. Let's see. What's this? This was updated yesterday. Wanted to be in Denver. Let's see. Collapsed lung and the elevation changed. And the elevation changed. So, of course, if they don't want him to travel, they're not going to want him to play. With lung and the risk with the pressure and flying, and obviously being in the altitude there, Breeze said. Let's see. Let's see. All right, he's going to be out this week. Let's see. Minimum amount for the so he's on IR. He's on IR. Sunday's game will be the 3rd game is missed due to his rib injury, which is the minimum amount of the games need to miss before they can be reactivated from the injured reserve. Breeze has shied away from his timeline, but he said that he's continuing to mend. I feel better than I did last week. Gradually ramping things up. Oh, God. Yeah, there's no news. There's no news. That's not news. I am so sorry I wasted your time on that because that is not news. That is not news. So, well, other than that, I don't really have anything to say. Other than here's the sound coming out of the meat curtains camp this weekend after that game. Yeah, that was a stinker, man. Holy cow. So anyway, I don't know that we have a lot left to talk about. So we're probably going to have to skedaddle and get out of here, folks. So sorry we didn't have any hamstring injury update, but Julio remains on the mend. So yeah, we got that going for us. So probably going to have to say goodbye. And we'll see you next time on the flip side. See you, folks. Thanks for listening.